Okay, so Hydreigon, right? Hydreigon is like the coolest thing ever. Genuinely, top 10 coolest things. Number 1, Hydreigon. This is a beautiful design. We have 2 Hydreigons in the format right now. One of them is terrible. The other one looks pretty good and is also not good, but that's okay. This is Hydreigon EX. We have a Stage 2 Terra Pokemon with 330 HP for a dark and a colorless. Crashing Headbutt is 200 damage and mills 3 off the opponent's deck. Not terrible. And Obsidian is Psychic, Darkness, Steel, and Colorless to do 130 damage plus 130 more damage to 2 of the opponent's benched Pokemon. So that first attack is not terrible. It one-shots a Gardevoir. It's decent, although there's so many good dark decks going around that's really not very special. The second attack is the important one, because if you're against an evolution deck and you are able to Obsidian before they can get set up, they lose the game. That's pretty straightforward. And so because of that, there's been a lot of people trying to make this type of card work, especially now there's not as much bench typing as there used to be. Even cards like Shaman are not really seeing much use anymore. This thing can go insane if it can actually get ready in time. The issue is it hasn't really been able to. 4 energy cost is insane, a stage 2 is insane, but maybe, just maybe, we can get somewhere. So this is the list we have to try and facilitate Hydreigon shenanigans. Hopefully this works. We have 3 Dino, 2 Zvilis, 2 Hydreigon EX, 2 Toxel, and 2 Toxtricity. Toxtricity is a very important card. It has the ability Sinister Surge, which lets you once per turn move a dark energy from your deck to one of your bench dark Pokemon, and you put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. That is a big deal for Hydreigon. It means that darkness and the colorless cost can both be fulfilled without really doing too much work. The issue, of course, is the Psychic and Metal, but we have answers for that too. We also have a 2/1/2 line for Pidgeot. We want to Rick Candy that, but Pidgeot wasn't too bad either. We have 2 Monkey Dory to move the damage off. We're playing dark anyways, why not? We have a Psyduck, still a $10 card, but getting a reprint, one day it'll be cheap. 1 Pheasantipity EX, 1 Pecharunt regular. This Pokemon can trap an opponent in the active and do 60 damage every turn thanks to the poison stuff, not terrible. Then we have Pecharunt EX, which allows us to pivot around very easily. For the trainers, we have 4 Iono, 4 Lilies, 2 Dawn, 1 Boss, 1 Crispin, 4 Poffin, 2 Rare Candy, 2 Ultra Ball, 1 Counter Catcher, 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Super Rod, 2 TM Evolution, 1 Air Balloon, 1 Counter Gain, 1 Artisan, 1 Town Store. This is maybe a bit less than ideal. Obviously, we are playing the TM Evo line, but we're also not playing Arvin, so we are just kind of hoping we draw it into what we need, which is a little scary, but we do have a good amount of draw supporters, so we could just get what we need, right? There's a way around this. And finally, for the energy, we have 5 Darkness, 2 Psychic, 1 Neo Upper, and 1 Metal. So Neo Upper is our A-Spec here. This gives us 2 of any energy to a stage 2 Pokemon. That fulfills your Psychic and Metal energy requirement for Hydreigon. So obviously what we want to do is get Obsidian up and running quickly so we can just wipe out a bunch of stuff before it can get set up, but we can also Crashing Headbutt, and that's actually not terrible. 200 damage is maybe a tad underwhelming, but the mill 3 can actually come in clutch sometimes, so we'll have to see if we can make this card work.
I'm Hydreigon. I tried to pick things up, but also I eat them. I'm Hydreigon.
I'm going to go first, that's fine. This is a terrible hand. Okay, we'll have to see if we can get anywhere with this. They're going to mulligan, which I don't mind because I need all the card draw I can get. They're playing another Darkness deck, so that's cool. Theoretically, if we can get Toxel online, we can actually Toxtricity, charge up the Fez, and attack the Cruel Arrow, which is very funny. And there's Poffin. That's a beautiful draw. Okay, so we'll have to see here. They're leading Toxel. I'll draw for turn. Monkey's good too. We'll play that down. Poffin here. I think I get Toxel Dino for now. Could be a mistake, but I think it's fine. I'll put Darkness on the Dino, and then next turn we can hopefully do something. I don't know if that's ideal. Maybe going for Pidgey would have been better, but I feel like I'm kind of in an awkward spot. I think I 100% want the Toxtricity online, which makes everything else a little bit weird. I guess I could have played Pidgey Dino and then attach return here. Next turn, if I get to Pidgeot, I can do something, but that's very specific. There's Artisan coming down, which is quite appreciated. They're going to look through their deck. They're probably prize checking, and there's the Toxel. So 2 Toxel in play is, I think, normal, right? You want to have that for your Sharpedos or Gengars or whatever, but in this case, I think we're doing quite fine as well. Call for Family, gonna get a bunch of more stuff. If we can top deck Hydreigon, we might be able to win, but that's an insane ask, but it would be funny, so we'll see. Draw the 1. There's Poffin again. Is there anything worth getting off of Artisan? We can get Pidgey, and then we can Poffin for whatever we want. I can get Pecharunt if I wanted to, but I don't know if it's good. It's not terrible. I don't hate it, but I also don't really like it per se. Honestly, I'll go for it. We'll get Pecharunt, and then we will Poffin here. Let me get a Pidgey, and maybe I should have gotten 2 Dino set up or something like that, but we're just gonna go straight for the card draw here. And this is interesting. I mean, this is pretty obvious, right? We have to Evo, but this is interesting because it sets us up kind of crazy for next turn, right? We go for this. We get, yeah, these 2 co-op. So that gives us Pidgeotto and Zvilis. Pidgeot, nothing else would get us to Toxtricity, but either way, we'll have Hydreigon Pidgeot next turn, assuming they don't Iono us. If they don't Iono us, then we can possibly Neo Upper plus Toxtricity and just Obsidian, and that'll go crazy. But the issue is they still have a whole turn, and if they can evolve their Toxels, that would create a bit of a problem for us. There's Arvin. You can get an Evo or a Hyper Energize if you want to do Air Balloon. Okay, Energy Switch Air Balloon. So they're going to put, their plan is to charge up Absol this turn. But we have Stretcher Stretcher plus Hydreigon plus 2 Pidgeot, so there's really nothing they can get rid of with their Claw that really scares me, so I'm not too upset here. Yeah, they're gonna do the 200, which is awkward, but that's all it is, just awkward. I think we're in a fine spot here. There's Claw, I'll lose something here, but nothing too crazy. I think they're just looking at this hand and being like, what the heck am I gonna do? Yeah, Lily's is a good choice, because without Iono, they get to gain a bunch of cards, but there's counter gain, doesn't do anything yet. Hydreigon comes down, Pidgeot comes down. I could Iono. That's awkward because it gives them a bunch of cards, but at the same time, that also gives me a lot of options, so I'm not sure. Because right now, I can just headbutt, and that's actually not terrible either. They can't take a knockout with this. Well, they could if they get 2 Monkey online, but that's not happening, is it? I say we Pidgeot here. We can get a hold of Toxtricity now. We can also get Lilies if we wanted to, or even Boss's Orders, but I think this is fine. We'll do this. This is a bit of a risk. I'm just going to hope they don't have anything that ruins my life here. Also, we prize Neo Upper Energy, which is really bad, but we're going to attach this, and that's fine. I'm going to try to retreat into Hydreigon here, and that allows me to just 200 and mill 3, which kind of reads crazy, right? They lose. That's nothing too wild, but Lilies and Arven are both good cards. Getting rid of them is quite nice. Nest Ball is also a good one to get rid of. Just nothing too insane. There's a Darkness there. That's fine. They're going to Adrenabrain. They can knock out the Fez, but that enables counter game, so I actually don't hate that. Yeah, down goes that. I guess should have played counter game. I definitely should have played counter game. That was a big misplay on my part. There's Artisan for something. It's a Brute Bonnet. Are they going to try to attack with this guy? Because I don't mind that. Yeah, there's Surge on the Bonnet. Yeah, there's the Claw. We just have to hope they don't get rid of counter game, because that was a misplay on my part. If I attached that for turn, I would have been in a really good spot. We'll see. Actually, wait, it doesn't make a difference. I'm stupid. Yeah, there goes Night Stretcher anyways, which is whatever. I misread the situation either way. We can get another Hydreigon, doesn't really do much. We can, how do we do this? Say we Artisan first. We can get another Dino. I think that's a good idea. And then, what would we want to surge off of Pidgeot? So we can counter catch, take a knockout. But I think taking out the Absol is just so good. We don't want to do anything else. There's a Steel and a Psychic, but we can't touch both this turn. So we get this to bench. Then we Sinister Surge here. I'll take this Darkness. I'll put it on the Dino. I think I'll just counter gain on Petron, even though it's kind of weird is what I'm going to do. Then I'll Quick Search. Let me get a hold of, let's say, a Metal this time. And then that can put that onto there, and then next turn we can do the same thing again and win the game instead, right? Crashing Headbutt takes out Absol. That's really nice. There's Fez gone. It's quite good. We'll also take our 3 prizes, and Neo Upper is there. That's also a big deal. So it all comes down to if they can knock out the Dino, they're in a decent spot. I don't know if they have the resources to take out both Dino and Hydreigon. If they can take out both, then good for them. But otherwise, I think they're not really in a great spot. There's Stretcher. Gets back something. Just the Fez. Makes sense. Only 1 Monkey means that we are going to have Hydreigon online, and we can Obsidian, and that goes crazy. Actually wins us the game if we can pull that off correctly. There's a Adrenabrain moving some damage onto the Dino, I assume, but that still doesn't save you. And there's a Thunder Surge, put that onto the Bonnet, I imagine, and they're going to take a knockout. And there's an Air Balloon on that one, don't care. And it leads to draw 6. I don't think I care about that either, depending on what they do. They're switching into Bonnet. They just attack here, we win, right? Yeah, 1150? I'm sorry? Oh, it's on my post. That's... okay, sure. Go for it. I'm going to get this going. I say we Quick Search here. Where's Rare Candy? I didn't prize both. That'd be insane. We'll get this. And we Neo Upper here. And we Rare Candy here. And I think this should be the end of the game, right? We just use Obsidian, takes out the Bonnet, takes out the Monkey, takes out the Toxel, and that is a very clean triple knockout for the win. Cool. So this deck does go kind of crazy. That's what I think. That's my humble opinion there. I'm going first. That might be okay. We'll see how this works out. Interesting start. I don't hate this. I don't hate this at all, actually. Do I lead Petron? I don't think we just go Petron, and then we see what they're up to. Or Oricorio EX, so it's Charizard, but I don't know if this will be the best way to play Charizard, but it might be. So we'll throw this down, and we'll just get Dino Pidgey. We prized, how many Dino do I play? 3, I'm pretty sure. So I prized 2, that's very unlucky, but if we can just evolve this one, it's not a big deal then. We will pass turn here. If they can't retreat and we can trap the Oricorio in the active, that might be kind of crazy. There's Evo, so they're going to make an Evo play. They're going to Determination, so they're just getting rid of their hand. It's a decent start for us, although I imagine they probably have what they need to evolve right away. There's Ultra Ball. Pitching the Fire Energy in the Reshiram. I guess that makes sense in this deck. There's Charmander. Yeah, and they're going to get the Fire Energy. They're going to evolve into Charmeleon. That's really desperate. Yikes. But we'll take an opponent who bricked. I don't mind that at all. Draw here. Toxtricity is quite nice. I think I'll actually attach a Dark to the active Petron here, and then I'll Sinister Surge to charge up the Dino. We'll put this onto you. And from here, I think I will simply Determination, just get a bunch of cards. So with that, pretty nice actually. Do I want to bench another Pidgey? We'll go to Zvilas. We'll go to, guess we can go Pidgey number 2, do I want to? I'll pop and see if there's anything worth getting. I think I want to keep space for Monkey Dory or even Fez, so I don't really want to get a second Pidgey down. We can just Poison Chain for now, and that will trap them in the active as well as poison them, so that's pretty good. They're already low on health on this 2 prize Oricorio. We can potentially go crazy next turn depending on what we draw into. They're going to evolve into Charizard. That means they can also accelerate a bunch of energy. There's Iono. That's mediocre for me. I don't hate that, but it's not great either. Double Evo. Neo Upper goes crazy, but we don't have the Pokemon to work that with, right? We need Hydreigon. But if we do get a hold of Hydreigon, I think we just win the game. So we'll have to wait and see. There's 1 energy on the Charizard. That's fine, but pretty rough for them. And they're passing there. Don't mind that at all. We can Rare Candy here. Bring in you. I think that's fine. I like going Neo Upper here. I like going Sinister Surge right here. Just get that from deck. Onto you. Then I think I would like to Quick Search here. I guess I might as well just get Dawn instead of the boring old Hydreigon because we can just search it out with this. Dawn comes down. We'll get Hydreigon, obviously. We'll also get Monkey Dory, I think would be quite nice. And then we might as well get Spylus. So we'll do this. And maybe I should have gotten Fez, but I think it doesn't really matter. We'll do this. We'll retreat into you. And now Hydreigon can attack with Obsidian, which not only takes out the Oricorio, but does some pretty good damage to the Charizard. And with that, we will take 2 prizes. Here's the other Dino. Not bad, but might be too late to matter. So Charizard now needs to detach energy to do damage. So you need to get rid of 4 energy here. Yeah, so you can get rid of 2. That's only 180. We basically have 290 health left. So they need to get rid of 4 energy to even get there, which is just so much. There's Town Store, which is not even close to enough. I don't know how that helps you. Air Balloon, that's deck thinning, but yeah, it seems just too little too late. There's Lilies, they're going to get a hold of 8 new cards. I guess in that case, it's fine. They need to get Oricorio and a bunch of fires, otherwise they're cooked. There's Pidgey, there's Oricorio. There you go, you can take the knockout, and then I'm in serious danger, aren't I? There's Super Rod, put back some energy into the deck. No, just bring back Reshiram of all things. Not even bring back the energy. Why would you not get it back? Interesting. So how are you winning? Like, genuinely, what's the plan here? No support, they're passing. Okay, so we do just win the game is what this means, I think. We will simply attach to you. Let's play this. That puts you over to 160. We can just attack with Headbutt for 360. Not going to bother with these other effects because I think we have 1 prize left. There goes Fire Breather as well. It's fun. They're gonna, yeah, that's it. How do we do? Bad. The answer is bad. Not good at all. This is not a fan. That's all I'm saying. So first order of business here, let's talk about why this deck is not good. It's inconsistent. It is so inconsistent. It is. One of the things here is I don't even know what replays I'm going to use for this. The issue that I had consistently when experimenting with this is that the games I played were either total blowouts where I got Hydreigon set up right away and I just annihilated everything, not very interesting to watch, or they were just non-games, right? Like, or I had like my Dino set up, I could maybe like set up Hydreigon and attack with it, but I could not, like Obsidian becomes useless when they've already evolved their board, right? And so I would just get owned by the fact that my opponent got set up before me, which, I mean, you can't really get too mad at when your main attacker is a stage 2 that takes 4 energy to attack, right? So it's not beautiful. I think this genuinely might be the most potential man card ever printed. This is just so, like, it reads so insane, but the setup is just not at all reasonable. It's very rough. Obviously, Neo Upper is nice, goes kind of crazy with this, but like, we need something more, right? Toxtricity Accelerating Dark is cool, but darkness is not the issue here. The issue is that Psychic Metal and needing 4 energy in general is just way too much. I don't know what the specific answer is. I mean, even when we look at stuff here, Crispin was printed in Surging Sparks, right? Countergain was printed in Surging Sparks, right? Like, they released this card with support to make its attack easier to use, and it was not enough then, and Toxtricity is not enough to make it good now. There's something fundamentally missing here, and I really do not know what they could print that would make this good while also not breaking like 20 other cards. So I'm afraid this might be a list that's just doomed to not really being playable, I'm afraid. There are certain things here, like maybe Badoo would slow the game down enough to make this better, but we also do have our TM Evo thing we want to have set up, so it's kind of a conflict there. I think Hydreigon EX is kind of a weird lost cause. So, you know, I had my fun experimenting with it, but I walked away very disappointed. I hope one day this card can be good. I will have to figure it out. I don't think it's today.